Howdy y'all, Christi here with Little Salty Homesteader. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I am on my patio on this semi-windy spring day at the very end of March, and I am actually going to be planting some ginger and some turmeric. So I thought that I would kind of film this process, talk about the things that I learned while researching how to grow these items, and then show you how I'm going to be planting it out this year. So I actually just purchased stuff from the grocery store. I got organic ginger and I couldn't find organic turmeric. So I soaked it, I soaked the turmeric rhizomes overnight in some water to kind of wash off any anti-growing agent, anti-sprouting, whatever it is that they put on it. Hopefully soaked all of that off so that I'll be able to grow it. Now, ginger does take a long time to reach maturity. It takes about 10 months. So if you're in a warm, hot, climate like Texas, ginger could be a good crop for you to grow. Now, full disclosure, my husband is half Indian, so we eat a lot of curries. We also eat a lot of stir fries, and it is also a really great medicinal herb, so we make a lot of teas and stuff. I add it to lemonade, all kinds of stuff with it. So growing fresh ginger is going to really kind of save me a little bit of money at the grocery store from having to buy it. So I bought a clamshell of the organic ginger, and I think it was like $6.48. I don't remember what the weight on it was, but it was most of this bowl here, and the bottom of this bowl has the turmeric that I had soaking, and it was much larger pieces of ginger. So what you want to look for with your ginger is pieces that have a lot of these, what they're calling fingers, because that's essentially where roots and stuff are going to sprout from. Just different clusters of sections on your ginger root is really going to be beneficial for growing your own. This was in much larger pieces. Like I said, I think maybe there was 3 or 4 pieces total in the entire clamshell, and I broke them, I broke the ginger pieces into about 3 to 4 inch sections. This one is a little bit bigger than it probably should, than it probably needs to be. And then I let it sit overnight so that where I broke it off could kind of dry up and heal a little bit, so that whenever I plant it in my grow bags, it doesn't kind of just rot away and get disgusting. So I have several pieces here, and this is kind of what they look like. And this was the smallest piece that was in there, and I just threw it in to soak with turmeric, why not? But I have several pieces here, and in terms of growing it, you want to plant it 3 to 4 inches apart from the other ginger pieces that you're going to plant. So if you think about like square root gardening, you can plant 4 pieces of ginger within that square root section. So I have 10-gallon grow bags, and I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 8 pieces of ginger, so I'm just going to split up 4 into each 10-gallon grow bag. I believe that will give me plenty of space. Now, about 3/4 of each of these bags is some high quality, well draining, nice, fluffy, nutrient-rich potting soil, and then I topped off the rest of it with organic compost. Living Earth is the brand that I used for compost for these grow bags. Turmeric is also going into a 10-gallon grow bag, same soil, same compost. One thing about growing ginger is that you're going to want to grow it in dappled shade, and what that means is like under a tree where some sunlight can kind of get through the leaves and stuff, but for the most part it's in relatively shady conditions, because while ginger does love to grow in the heat, it doesn't necessarily love to grow in full sun. I did not know that when I attempted to grow it in 2021, so it germinated fine, but then it completely died off very quickly, and that's because I had it in a full sun location and it was just getting blasted all day long. And that's not a great idea here in North Texas because the sun is super hot. So where I'm going to be growing my ginger, I actually have 2 grow bags, and they're about 8 feet apart, and one of them is like up against the side of my house, which I'll show you in just a second, and then the other one is next to this green stalk right here, this lettuce green stalk. So it's underneath this red bud tree. So I think that this location is going to work out really well. The reason why I didn't move the other one is because whenever I lifted it up, there was some earthworms, which is great. I'm happy to have the earthworms there, but I also need to get some new mulch for that area. So once I have the new mulch, then I'll move that bag to be next to this one. The turmeric is actually going to be up against the house as well, but it's up on the patio. So one ginger is not on the patio, one ginger is on the patio, and then the turmeric is on the patio as well. So planting ginger is really easy. Same thing with turmeric. Let me move you guys and kind of shift you so you can see. All right, so 10-gallon grow bag here, pretty full with soil. I can also add more as I need, but growing the ginger is going to be relatively easy. You're just going to place it in the soil horizontally like this. And I'm just gonna kind of dig like a 1.5 inch-ish deep spot to plant that in. And like I said, I'm planting 4 in each bag. So and even though the very top of this soil looks incredibly dry, we have gotten a ton of rain this week, so it's really moist underneath that initial top layer, but I will water this in really well once everything is planted. So I'm gonna go ahead and get all 4 of these put in here, and I think 4 was a good call on this. I think any more and it would have been way too crowded in here. All right, so let's see if you guys can see that. Just kind of lift you up so you can see all 4 in there, spaced pretty evenly apart, and then just cover it up, and then we will come back and water it in really well once we get all the other grow bags planted out. So I'm going to flip the camera and take care of the other grow bags of ginger and turmeric really quick. Okay, so that bag right there on the left, that is going to be the ginger. Eventually, after I get the mulch for that area, I'll move the bag up here on the patio. And then this one on the right is going to be the turmeric. So let me just grab my trusty Hori and get things planted real quick. All right, so as you guys could see from that footage, it is a super easy, quick process. One note that I do want to say about ginger, because it does take 10 months to come to maturity, thereabout on average. You can start it indoors. If you're in a cooler climate, you'll just choose at least like a 4-inch pot to start each ginger in, and then keep it under a grow light and keep the temperature around 75 degrees. The ginger, whether it's started indoors or out, is not going to germinate for about 14 days. So if it seems really slow to you, just be patient. It takes it a little bit of time to get those green shoots to come up above the soil. Are you okay? Otis, are you okay? He was eating grass because that's what he does. Now the turmeric is going to take substantially longer in order to reach maturity. It can take up to 2 years. So even though we are in a warm climate here in Texas, it does freeze during the winter. So I will have to take that turmeric, possibly even the ginger if it hasn't reached maturity yet, indoors with some supplemental light, and make sure that the temperature-ish is around 75 degrees for these so that they can continue to grow and reach the levels that we want for harvesting. Now, ginger and turmeric as well don't really have any pests or diseases, so once you get it germinated and once you get it growing, it's really like a plant you don't have to worry too awful much about in terms of, are the bugs eating it, or is it getting sick, what's wrong with my plant. Now you will need to fertilize it regularly, so whenever I am out here applying my granulated and my liquid fertilizers to the rest of the garden, I'll just make sure that I hit my ginger and my turmeric as well, and it should maintain the nutrients that it needs in the soil in order to grow all the way up to harvesting beautiful fresh ginger. One of the things that I would like to try to make with this is the pickled ginger like you get at the sushi restaurants. I'm not talking about the nasty pink stuff that tastes like it's been sitting in a jar for 17 years, but there is a place kind of local to us that has like fresh pickled ginger, and it is amazing. And so I do want to try to make that. Ginger has excellent benefits in terms of, you know, easing tummy aches or gut issues in general. So it's something that I like to keep on hand for a lot of different reasons outside of just the culinary world. So I'm really excited to give this a shot and see if I can get some ginger harvested from out of the garden. If I fail, it was $6.50. That essentially doesn't come to anything, but at least it was an experiment worth trying. If you guys have grown ginger, please comment below with any tips and tricks that I might have missed in this video. And if you've grown turmeric, what did you do to keep it alive over the winter, since it does take so long to come to fruition? But that's all I have for you today. If you liked today's video and you want to see what other crazy stuff I plant in my garden here in North Texas, please like, subscribe, and comment, do all those different YouTubey things. But until next time, go find a way to get those garden manicures. Bye!